It's the show that if you let it really teach you, it will change your life. It's the Mike Sasson Show. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live. It's Sunday night at 9 p.m. Or you're listening to us live, which here's something I'm starting to do. I've actually started to take the time out Tuesday and listen to us on the River's Edge. It's amazing because, I mean, first off, watching us visually, it's okay for me if you're just like have a fetish for giant dudes.
Ew.
But hey, there's some people that do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That was Alex, by the way. Again, whose job it is to make sure that I have no self-esteem. That's what her point in life is. It's like, hey, Mike felt good today. It was a beautiful day. He had a wonderful breakfast. He worked out a little. He was watching movies. It was a wonderful day. And Alex was like, well, I'll change that. By the way, it's Alex. She's right over there. She is producer extraordinaire, the greatest producer in the history of internet radio, first ballot Internet Hall of Fame radio member. Right now, if you ever want to visit the Internet Radio Hall of Fame, it is currently located outside of a strip club in Jacksonville, Florida. So I believe it's called Tony's. Tony's Strip Club. It was a very good one. It's a juice bar. Like, yeah, it's connected to one where you have to like go in and get the beer, and then in the other room is actually where the nude women are. Never been to one of them, Alex?
No.
Never been one? Well, that's why you are the producer extraordinaire. Again, you are listening to us either on www.riversedgepgh.com, where you get the best music, the best talk. It's the best station ever. Or you're listening to us on TuneIn Radio across the planet Earth, or you're listening to us on many of the podcast formats, either Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes. It's all over the place. Today, again, we have Aaron Kleiber, who is a great friend of the show. He's already been on the show once, but we're going to have him on again because he's just that damn good. And also because this Saturday, March 3rd, he's going to be at the Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead, which is a beautiful venue.
It is. It's very intimate, too.
Yeah, it seats like over 1,000 people. It's going to be amazing. I saw Dave Chappelle there.
Aw.
And this Saturday, you're going to see Aaron Kleiber there.
That's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. So he's going to be talking about that and also all of his shenanigans, because he's just that kind of shenanigan type guy. Also, we're going to be talking about another announcement, baby-related. MJ is home. Matthew James Sasson, last week, he was born on Valentine's Day, but he was a little early, so they had to keep him in the hospital, and they had to keep him in the intensive care for the baby. But today, Sunday, we got all the text. He was sick of that lifestyle, and he wanted to go home.
Aw,
so now he's
awesome.
home. So MJ is at home right now, and I'm calling him. I've announced I'm calling him MJ.
Does everyone else call him MJ?
No.
Oh, everyone else hates that, and they hate you for it.
They hate me for other reasons, but
Clearly.
The thing that I just like the fact. Well, first off, he's named after his brother Matthew.
Right.
Or not? It's actually my brother Matthew. He doesn't have a brother Matthew. That'd be weird because he's already Matthew. If they had another brother Matthew, it'd be Matthew and Matthew. Then it'd be turned into like a George Foreman thing where he named all his kids George.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I want to do that. I want to marry an Alex and then name all of our children Alex.
But spell it differently?
No.
Everyone spelled the same.
Yep. And they're like, but the hard thing is that if I marry an Alex and we have a child named Alex, are they Alex the second or Alex the third?
Whoa. What?
I don't know.
I've the only thing I've gotten close to is I've liked girls sometimes that have the same initials as me, MS. So
good initials.
Yeah. So then I'm like, hey, you can keep the same towels. That's all I've that's been my sales pitch, and it typically hasn't worked. Yeah. But one of the things that I've always found is, again, I'm very happy. I can't call him Matthew. because there already is a Matthew.
Right.
And he's my little brother. And then if they're probably going to be in the same place because they both live in California, I need somehow, some way to tell people which one is which. So I'm just going to go with MJ.
I think like Maddie J, would be a cool name.
Maddie J?
Maddie J. You have to say it like that. Maddie J.
When his uncle, my brother Matthew, all through growing up, we didn't even like think about it. We just called him Maddie.
Yeah.
So hey Maddie, hey, what's up? And
he wasn't cool enough to be a Maddie J.
He wasn't because his middle name was William.
Oh, well,
so he'd have been MW, which doesn't sound good. MJ though, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
But
only because of Michael Jackson.
Yeah. But or Michael Jordan, that was me. But one of the things that he eventually grew to really hate it. And because I was one of the few people that kind of kept calling him Maddie well into his 20s. Because it was just instinct. I'm like, hey, Maddie. Like on my phone, it still says Maddie.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to change things like that. Like I had a friend who, like all growing up, wanted to be called Jenny, and then she was like, no, I want to be Jen now. Like I can't do that. I've known you my whole life, and I've called you the same thing. How am I supposed to change that? My
sister Liz did the same thing. And notice it took me a little while to call her Liz because at one point she was, her full name is Elizabeth, but she was always Beth. She was always Beth around the house.
Right.
And then when she hit the teenage years, like you talk about last show, that 15 you kind of became the worst person in the world stage. When she hit her worst person in the world stage, she became Liz. Now I think she's Elizabeth, but in my phone it's still Beth. Even though she probably at one point wanted to call her Liz. And my sister Meg never was anything but Meg. I think sometimes if people were mad at her, she called her Margaret. Mary was always Mary. Timmy at some point was Timbo. Like everyone's like, hey, yes. Timbo. But that kind of stopped. When he's a dad with 3 kids now, and no one can call, hey, Timbo.
I think it's still good. I think it always works.
Yeah.
Even like an old dude,
Hey, yeah, when we're both
Timbo.
old, and hey, Timbo, or something like that, and then he'll be like, get out. And
I've never had a cool name. I've just always been Alex.
Has anyone gone the full Alexandria?
Well, it's Alexandra, so...
we should be Alexandria.
No.
I think that's more...
I'm not fancy enough for that.
Well, why didn't your parents make you fancy?
I don't know.
Did they like... Here's the thing. Sometimes when people have a name that could have been a boy or a girl, sometimes they name it when they don't know.
Well, no. See, apparently I've been living my life as a complete lie, and I found out a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
So I had always thought that they named me Alex because, like, they named me Alexandra because my dad had always wanted his name to be Alex, and so he was just like living his life through me.
Okay.
That was apparently not the case.
All
He
right.
did really like the name Alex and did want it for himself, but my mom told me that was the only name that they could agree on because my mom wanted Lily or Sophia, and my dad was not.
I don't know if I had a picture of my co-host if you were Sophia.
Yeah, well,
That's
I wish...
a completely different type of woman.
It's like my great-grandmother's name is Sophia.
Okay.
But it was actually Zofia with a Z because she's Polish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have been Zoe then?
No.
Yeah.
Sophia.
Sophia. I don't know if I could have. I've kind of dealt with a Sophia. I don't know. That'd have been an interesting because it changes your name when you're like if I've been.
I think my name is completely fitting for me.
Okay. You are an Alex.
I am an
Alex. When I met you, I was completely like, yeah, this is Alex. This is what I believe. Mike is a good name for me.
Yeah.
It's just a good dude's name.
Solid.
Yeah, I'm a solid dude.
Yeah.
Also, it sounds great coming out of an announcer's mouth when I made a block.
Yeah.
That I have the tape of it, and I when they said there, oh, great block by Mike Sasson. I'm like, that's right. That's one thing when I eventually do have children is I want to make sure it sounds good over a loudspeaker after making a tackle or scoring a goal.
Right. Or, dancing.
Yes, or dancing.
Whatever they want to do.
Speaking of dancing, I assume that you being a dancer, you were a fan of the figure skating in the Olympics?
I really love figure skating, but I actually, Zach, my boyfriend, loves it more than anyone I've ever met in my life.
The most straight, are you sure he's a straight man?
Yeah, for the most part, I think. But I mean, he gets so into it. Like he'll just sit there and like drink, but he knows all of the moves and stuff, and he like can basically judge them. Like, he knows what their scores are going to be because he knows it so well. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I just think it's amazing that they're like flipping and shit, you know?
Where did he get this love of figure skating?
I don't know, actually.
Was his mom a figure skater? Was he ever a figure skater?
Nope. I think he just picked it up one day. He started
He's from Buffalo,
watching
so I
it.
mean, there's a lot of ice-related, cold-related sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but he gets really, really into it.
Is he like big USA, or is he just like have an individual person that he likes?
He's always kind of USA because that's just how he is as a person.
Okay.
But he was kind of rooting a little bit for Canada too.
Okay.
Because they have a beautiful couple that like performed and they're amazing. They were incredible.
Yeah, and they're like a real couple. Like they talked about that after this, they want to take a couple years out and just bang.
I don't think that they said that.
I think they said it nicer than I did.
I don't know. Everyone's making a big deal because like they weren't really, and then they like kissed at the end of one of their performances, and everyone's like, "What?" Because they're beautiful. They should have millions of babies.
They should have beautiful millionaire Canadian babies.
Yeah, and then they like do figure skating, little tiny figure skating kids, like little babies.
Would that be a sport you'd get your kids into, figure skating?
Oh no, I think it would scare me too much. Their like heads getting sliced off with ice skates.
Well, hopefully they're only
my worst fear.
Yeah, but hopefully only one of them would do it. Like just make them a solo.
No.
Okay.
Still chances,
All right.
What if your ice skate flies off of your foot and then slices your head off?
Okay. Yeah,
that could
that's
happen.
A ton.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens at least 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah, so I can't have that.
So, okay, ice skating or football player?
Neither. I don't want any of that.
Oh, well.
They can play soccer.
They can play soccer. But okay,
And
soccer.
dance.
Soccer is a rough sport. I had people people break their legs, people dive into goalposts.
Yeah, but there's no one wearing knives on their feet.
They got spikes and stuff.
Yeah, not knives.
Spikes are like miniature
They're
knives.
not going to slice your head off.
Well, you've never seen how they do it over in the Premier League in England.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Premier League in England and technology, I have the worst
This is so
segues.
bad. Just,
I know. I just try to segues and it doesn't work. You ever have one of those great conversations in which you kind of learn something? I mean, obviously this conversation with me never actually helps. But so I'm having a conversation on Thursday with a guy, and he was talking to me about like all of the tech jobs that are happening in Pittsburgh. And one of the things that he was talking about was the fact that he was talking to an engineer over at Uber. And so, like you do with any job, you said, "Oh, what did you do today?" Mm-hmm. And so he goes, "Oh, we're just kind of perplexed about a problem, and we're trying to come up with an algorithm about it." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." He goes, "Well, what was the algorithm? What are they trying to figure out?" He goes, "Okay, well, here's the scenario we're trying to figure out. Car's driving. There's another car coming down. It swerves into you. You've got 4 people in the car. Mm-hmm. How do you figure out, in a moment's notice, how to save the most lives in that situation?"
Oh, my God.
Because theoretically, if you move it into if you go straight on, you might kill all 4 people. You might kill the 2. If you might kill the people in the other car. If you swerve into the sidewalk, there might be people on the sidewalk, all this other kind of stuff. And they literally, and that's why I kind of talked about the death algorithm. That's literally what the guy was in his team was trying to figure out of how do they figure out the least amount of people dead, and they're trying to figure out that there might be a situation where if there are 4 people in the car, the safest thing to do would be like ram it to the side where one person's definitely going, but the other 3 live.
Is this for their self-driving cars?
Yeah, they're self-driving cars. All that
I thought
kind of
they were
stuff.
just like training their drivers, like how to not.
No, they don't
kill
even care about the
people.
drivers. They're trying to get rid of them in like 2 seconds. That's why they're. I mean, I'm talking here. I'm sorry if you're thinking other places. In Pittsburgh, we're coming up with your Android super gods that are coming up. That's all happening in Pittsburgh.
Right.
That's what's weird. No, I'm serious. The T1000s that will eventually conquer the human race. People think that they're being developed in like Silicon Valley or in like at MIT. No, they're being developed in a warehouse next to a dive bar in Millvale. That's where
the
they're
best
done.
place to do it.
Because no one would think to look there.
And no one cares about anyone in Pittsburgh, so if we
There.
all die first.
And then
totally
then all this,
cool.
Yeah, there you go. But that's literally what the guy from Uber with this driverless car was trying to figure out is the death algorithm. is
think
how to
that's-
do that.
But like, cool thing to say. You're like, what did you do at work today? And I'm like, I figured out a death algorithm. Like, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool, you know?
But the thing is, he hasn't figured it out. He's trying to figure out how do you figure out that one person. That I personally think the one person who dies in that car is the one that they like agree is the least popular.
Oh, and you have to like decide that when you get into the car.
No, the computer decides it, like by Facebook friends or like what they do for a living,
okay.
or like it's a complete algorithm of which because there's actually a thing in China where you will now they're assigning people numbers based upon their like all these different criteria. Some of it is like their social media and their job and everything like that, and it's almost replaced their credit score. And if you have too low a thing, like you get too many traffic tickets and you're just like kind of undesirable, it's tough for you to get like a job, or it's tough for you to get like a hotel room.
So
or
they just
anything
kill
like
you.
that. Well, yeah, well, they just eventually just make your life terrible. But in the Uber case, they could use the same thing and just take out that person. I would say just take out the person that like has the lamest social media presence.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, like,
I don't know if I want to base everyone's lives off of their social media preference. They could still be really good people, even if they're not on social media.
I'm not saying they're on social media. I'm talking about like they say awful things on social media.
Oh,
like,
if they were shitty people and did shitty things on social media.
They went on social media and they made fun of like, people's bodies, and they they made fun of, oh, you're losers, and that person's dead.
That would just suck though if you like did that once in your life.
And the
you're
other
like you had a moment of weakness, and no one else had ever done it, so you're the one who dies.
But have you ever done that? Have you ever even thought of doing that on social media?
Said something mean?
Yeah, attacking someone meanly on social media.
No.
Neither have I.
I walk away from that.
There's some people that you literally put the phone down and walk away.
I turn the other cheek, Mike.
You have the phone in front of you and you just literally turn the other cheek.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the kind of lady you are. That's
No.
why she is Alex Clemens, producer extraordinaire. I just thought it was cool to say Death Algorithm because
Death Algorithm.
I think that'd be a cool band. Speaking of cool bands, you might see a cool band at a bar. And does that make it a great bar to go to? Alex is going to try to tell you about it next on her Bar Thoughts and Experiences. You're listening to the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge. I kind of lost my breath there, but Alex saved me. No, she didn't. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show. We'll be right back. And in a little bit, we'll have Aaron Kleiber. He's going to be talking about his great comedy and his thing at the Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead, March 3rd. That'll be next. Anyways, it's Alex's Bar Thoughts and Experiences. Right after this break, it's the Mike Sasson Show. See you in a bit.
Brian Crawford letting you know that Kevin Slogic, my State Farm agent in Allison Park, is here to help life go right and reminds you that you're listening to the River's Edge Radio Network.
It's the Mike Sasson Show live on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com or on Facebook Live or on TuneIn Radio app. And remember, here's the thing, folks. If you have one of those machines that you say like, hey, Alexa, or hey, Google Home, or hey, whatever cheap piece of crap you got.
The smart speakers.
The smart speakers. You can't just say, hey, play River's Edge. You got to say, play the River's Edge station on TuneIn Radio, and then you can listen to us without ever touching anything, thus joining 2018. Right, Alex?
Yeah.
So what are you going to say? You say, tell your smart speaker to play the River's Edge station on TuneIn Radio, and then it comes on, and then your life is complete. It all comes together.
That was beautiful, Mike.
Remember, tell your smart speaker to play the River's Edge station on TuneIn Radio.
Do it.
Do it.
I hope that my parents do that. I bought one of those for my parents for Christmas, and it was honestly the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Why is that?
They just scream from every room, like it's in their living room. I don't think they ever use it in the living room. They're like upstairs, like 3 doors down, and they are like screaming like, Alexa, tell me what the weather is. I'm like, oh, you can't do that. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And then they get really upset with her when she doesn't know something, but it's because they ask while there's like 50 people talking, and so she can't understand what they're saying.
My mom is kind of the same in a sense that she's not using it right, but is different because, first off, she asks it the most mundane. She asks a question she already knows the answer to.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, she'll sit there and be like, Alexa, who won the Steeler game today? And she went to the game.
Yeah.
And she just wants to hear it talk.
Yeah.
Or she'll sit there and be
She's
like,
just lonely, Mike.
yeah, she's like, Alexa, who won the Pitt Panther football game on Saturday? And Alexa will be like, the Pitt Panther football team lost to the Syracuse Orangemen. And I'm like, Mom, you were at the game. You sat in the stands.
I like
watching
her
it.
Alexa voice.
Yeah, her Alexa voice is a giant man trying to be a woman. In that Alexa. But, or the other, she does get upset when she'll ask it like something specific.
Right.
Like she'll be like, Alexa, where are my car keys? And the car key will be like, I do not know.
Yeah.
And she'll be like,
God damn it, Alexa! Why did I even get this stupid thing? That's what my parents say all the time. And it was like, why did we even get this thing? I'm like, I'm sorry, but before I got it for them, I bought it like a month before Christmas, and all of a sudden they started going on these rants about how Alexa, like the government was spying on people through these things and stuff like that, and they were like very against it. And I was like, well, shit, I already bought their present. Like I can't take it back now. Well, I could, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to have to think of a new present.
Yeah.
So I gave it to them anyways, and they were like, oh, this is so nice. The government's totally not going to listen to us. I'm like, guys, no one cares about your conversations. Absolutely no one. The government is not after you.
Yeah, my mom is clearly the last person that the government should be after.
Exactly.
I think she'd approve of the government listening to her conversations because her biggest problem is that she's just worried that, like, she's going to be left alone, and that she would like it if the government was listening and just would learn the name of the person who's listening and then just talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, if it was, like, Jeffrey in, like, Langley, Virginia, she'd just be like, Jeffrey, what do you think about Trump and this gun thing? I just don't like it very much. And like Jeffrey can't respond because he's obviously can't show that you're listening. But she'll just be like, I personally feel this. And Jeffrey would literally be in like Langley, Virginia going, oh my God.
Yeah, Jeffrey commits suicide because he has to listen to your mom every day.
I really have to get a new job. Basically, the only reason he took the job is because it was cool that he was part of the CIA.
Right.
That's one of the things when anybody ever tells you, like, yeah, I work for the CIA, I work for the NSA. There are people in like towns like Pittsburgh that work for the NSA. They don't have cool jobs with the NSA. They just have like a job where they like, you know, make sure that they're the IT guy and they make sure everyone's keyboards work, you know.
Right.
But they work for the NSA.
And it's still cool.
Well, I don't know if that's that cool.
I think it is.
Okay.
Good for you guys.
Good for you guys. Also good for you guys that you listen to Bar Thoughts and Experiences with Alex. Alex, play your theme song.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. Here's a fresh cut, hope that you like it.
All right, Alex, what is your bar thought for today?
So this weekend I went to good old Buffalo.
Buffalo,
Good
New
old
York.
Buffalo, the place for drinking.
They do drink a lot up there.
Yeah, because it's cold and like what else?
That and chicken wings.
Yes,
And
they
beef
chicken
with,
wings.
And beef with weck. Or
Beef on weck. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah. We every time I go there, we just drink. And that's literally all we do, really.
And you
just
never
find
have to
different places to drink.
And there are only 5 in the whole city?
What?
There's more than 5.
I didn't say 5. What?
Oh, I thought you said you only went to 5
5 what?
bars.
Oh no, I said we just find different places to drink.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was in a little bit of a pissy mood yesterday because I get in those moods sometimes. I don't know if you
do
knew
you?
that. I didn't have any alcohol in my system yet, and I also didn't have any food in my system, so
Okay.
I was not in a good mood. So I decided to go to this bar by myself. It was called Winfield's Pub,
Okay.
which is a cute little place, right? It was just like this tiny little like house, basically, and I was kind of sketched out by it, but also I looked at their menu online and was like, this place looks delicious. So I went in, and it's just a very strange looking place. Like it's like you would have like a home cooked diner feel
Okay.
on one side, and then there's just like a bar where they're playing like kind of metal music there also, and it's a weird atmosphere. But I went there and I loved it, and the bartender was super cool, and like everyone that was there like all knew each other and stuff. So I loved the bar. So I decided to come up with my qualifications of what makes a bar a good bar.
There you go. Alex's qualifications of what makes a bar a good bar.
Number 1,
Okay.
you have to be welcoming.
Okay.
As soon as a person walks in, have a nice smile on your face, and instead of being like, "What do you want?" Here's a drink menu.
Yeah.
Order.
Yeah.
Because people are like that, and it's pretty shitty. When you say, "Oh, how's your day going today? What can I get you?"
Okay.
Don't talk in that voice though, because that's
Yeah.
fucking creepy.
Yeah, don't talk like you have to be between welcoming and Stepford wife. You have
Yes.
to between that.
Exactly. And yeah. And number 2, being attentive, because my least favorite thing in the whole world is when I have to like flag down bartenders and it's not even like a big bar. That's what I've been having a problem with at Scarpace's lately. And I'm like, you know?
New bartender.
Yeah, it's hard. And there's like a lot of new bartenders. I can't get used to it. But I do not, that's my least favorite thing is people, like I have to wave them down because then I feel rude and then I feel like they're mad at me for waving them down. I'm like, well, you should have just been paying attention.
I feel that same way with like waiters and waitresses.
Yeah.
I also feel that way about like let's be honest, I don't really go out with waiters. I go out to where I get waiters and waitresses, so it's mostly just drive-through.
Yeah.
And like this past weekend, I was at my favorite place in the world, Wendy's, and I ordered the 4 for $4, but I wanted it large, and they put in a small fry. And I clearly paid, and it said on the receipt, large fry.
Ooh.
So I knocked on the window, and she looked at me like if she had a shotgun, she would have blown my brains out.
Yeah.
And I sat there and went, excuse me, this, it's a large fry. And she goes, oh, yeah. Like that. Like not like, oh, I'm sorry. Just, oh, yeah. And so close the thing. They're all sitting there talking. I assume they're talking about the giant, jerk that's in his car. Then they give me the fry. Now, I, as the nice person, I say, well, do you want the small fry back? Never have they asked for it back because, like, they're not going to do anything with it.
Right.
It's mine. My hands have been in it.
They're going to throw it away.
She took it back.
Ooh.
Which proves that she either A, does not understand, like, food preparation, because if she actually gave that to somebody else, that's terrible. But even just them taking it back, I mean, normally, like, that's just a way of them to just be like, no, there's no need. You just keep the fry. You get 2 fries, whatever, all that kind of good stuff. But you do feel bad because, A, they have your food. They might spit it in or something like that. And again, with, like, drinks or something like that, if you don't want, I mean, you never know what's happening with this person's day, Well, like, okay, today, I was at a local sandwich shop called Subway. And I walk in, and walking past me is like a 5-year-old little girl. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's obvious after looking at it that the woman behind the counter was her mom.
Yeah.
So she sits there, I get there, and she looks at me, and the person, she goes, I'm just going to beat her ass.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just like, okay, you've put me in a position to where this is weird all of a sudden.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden she goes and she's putting on my food. I'm like, oh yeah, I want a rotisserie chicken. Blah, blah, blah. Then she starts putting on pepper jack cheese. And I go, excuse me, miss, you never asked me what kind of cheese I wanted. She goes, oh, I thought you said pepper jack. And I'm like, literally, like, never close did I say anything about pepper jack cheese. And now all of a sudden, like, she's looking at the kid, like, people are coming in. She's just like, hey, there's a girl over there. And just like, I understand you might be having a tough time with life, but at this point, put on a face. No, I mean, like, make my sandwich and then deal with your kid. Or, I mean, it puts you as a customer in such a bad position. First off, you say you're going to beat your kid up, which obviously, do I call the cops now? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just want a sandwich. Now,
and it makes you not want a sandwich at all.
Yeah, it makes me now want to sit here and, like, do some counseling or something like that.
Yeah.
Or try to get this woman, give her a tip so she can maybe get some childcare. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's how you know you're in a bad place, when the person behind there looks at a little kid and says she's going to commit an assault on her. That's a bad one. That's Mike's bad one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not a needy person. But as long as when my drink is empty, you come and ask me if I want a new drink, I am very happy.
It's so weird how little things like that will make you come back for more. Like you've said that you go to Scarpace's because they fill up your wine all the way to the top.
They do.
That's like, but little things like that make you become a loyal customer.
Except they got smaller wine glasses now.
Ooh, I think
They went around it.
Yeah.
So they still do it, but it's not the same thing.
I think that you personally were making them bankrupt. That was what I was doing. Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
So number 3, this bar did this really well of like making you feel like you're a part of like the bar and like a part of the community that is around the bar.
Okay.
Like when I went there, I was by myself, obviously, and all of the people that came in were locals. Like as soon as they walked through the door, everyone's like, "Oh, it's Joe,"
Yeah.
And I obviously did not I was not like that. And everyone kind of looked at me when I first walked in. I was like, oh, geez, like, I'm going to feel real weird sitting here. But, like, the bartender made me feel very at home, like, talked to me about where I was from and stuff, and then kind of engaged other people so that I had conversations with other people. I was like, this is great. Like, now I feel like I'm at home here, even though I will probably never be back to this place. But
Do
it
you
was
think
good.
that it helps that you're attractive?
Well, I mean, I think it helps. My whole life is just better because of that. Yes.
Well, one thing that I've always found is that, like, if I'm in, like, especially a sports bar, and I sit there and someone goes, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, Pittsburgh. Now, 90% of the time, the person will be like, oh, yeah, Steeler fan. But I've had situations in other cities where someone will just be like, fucking hate Sidney Crosby. And now what am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know, I'm like, well, actually, I've met the guy. I've actually said this. I'm like, actually, I've met the guy, and he's a very nice man.
Yeah.
And you now all of a sudden, and I'm like, dude, what now? How are you?
Right. How do you rectify this?
How am I going to? I have to now just pretty much try to end this conversation before it escalates into something else.
Yes.
So.
We bonded over Mr. Smalls.
Oh, they've been to Mr. Smalls?
Yeah, they saw shows and stuff here. And I was like, no way, I do my podcast there. And they're like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
He didn't say that, but I like to think that in my head.
In their head, they were saying that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Number 4, good food. I think that's just pretty obvious. But I was there kind of late, and they were like, we don't have everything on the menu, but just like let me know what you want, and I'll let you know if we can make it. I was like, I just want a burger. Just give me a burger. And they gave me the best burger ever, and the fries were amazing. Everything was delicious.
The key to bar food is do bar food well.
Yes.
Like, don't try anything that super exotic. Again, chicken wings, burgers, fries, taco, nachos. If you have like a soup or chili, whatever, but keep it simple. I don't like seeing something on the menu where I'm just like, I don't think this place has a great blank.
Yeah.
Unless the bartender is like, no, trust me, we have the best, grilled salmon in the world. And I'm like, I don't know about a bar getting me grilled salmon.
Yeah.
But, like, again, I'd say stick to any bar. I've had situations where I've been at bars where people have ordered, like, something that obviously is not something that a bar would be good at, and it's 80% of the time never works out.
I have gotten deviled eggs in a bar before.
And are you still vomiting?
No, they were delicious. It was at the Summit, so, like,
that's the
we're
Summit.
fancy.
Yeah, that's the fancy place.
Yeah, but they were actually really delicious.
By the way, that's their name. And they say it like that. The Summit. We're the fancy place.
No, that's the pretty people place.
Okay. Where's the fancy place?
The pretty people, well, because it's a pretty people place, it makes them fancy.
Okay.
Or
right.
maybe it's, I don't know which way it is.
Okay. So to review.
Wait, I didn't get to 5.
Well, then get to 5.
Oh my God, you're the one talking.
Okay.
Number 5.
It's amazing I talk on my
Good drinks.
Okay.
This guy was like in a competition to be like the best bartender in Buffalo. So he had all these fancy drinks that like gave you something to do while you're just sitting there staring at a wall and drinking. He like light stuff on fire, and it was crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So put on a show. Get creative with your drinks.
Is that it?
That's it.
So
yes, Mike.
review the
Oh my
5.
God. Number 1, be welcoming. Number 2, be attentive. Number 3, make each customer feel like they are a part of the bar. Number 4, good food. Number 5, good drinks.
There you go.
The drinks.
There you go. That's how you find out if you're at a good bar. Another way to figure out if you're listening to a good internet radio show is if they have a top 5 takes. Ours does. Here's the song to prove it. Here are the top 5 takes from Mike Sasson. Here it is. Number 1. I was watching the movie Lincoln today. Steven Spielberg, great movie. Daniel Day-Lewis knocks it out of the park. But everyone always sits there and wonders, man, we need a Lincoln. We need what we. And while watching this movie, a couple thoughts came into my head. Number 1, Lincoln was just a guy. He had a modern job. He was a lawyer. Okay?
Yes.
But he wasn't this this god that we make him out to be. He's just a guy. He was trying to do what was best. But what made him great was he knew what he had to do. He was willing to take the hits because he knew at the end of the day the good fight needed to be fought and history would judge it to be so. If there's a reason why we don't have an Abraham Lincoln right now, it's because people are not willing to go through a bunch of crap to get to where the country needs to be. So that's the reason why we don't have a Lincoln. Number 4, if you're ever at a concert, you're ever at a comedy show, anything like that, always remember, a show, a live performance is an energy transfer. If you don't give energy, then the performance suffers. Yesterday, I had a comedy show, and the people weren't like, they weren't booing, they weren't not having a good time. They just didn't have a lot of energy to them. They'd laugh, but it wasn't like, it just wasn't there. And I had to really work to just get them to try to, like, they'd laugh, but it'd be a 2-second laugh. They were smiling, but they weren't giving me anything. And every comic was thinking the same thing. So again, remember, if you're doing a performance, it's an energy transfer. Make sure you're giving as much energy as possible. Number 3, why are nipples the most unbelievably powerful thing in the world? Like, I follow a lot of Instagram models, and they all want to be naked, but Instagram doesn't let them be naked. So what they do is they'll draw a little like square around their nipples, and then they'll say to them, they'll say, "Hey, if you want to see this uncensored, $20 a month, you get my uncensored Instagram." And I'm like, so for $20, your little scribble, I get to see nipple.
What Instagrams are you following?
All of them. What do you mean?
I've never seen anyone that's like, if you want to see the full thing.
Well,
I just always see Instagrams.
You don't follow one. Well, because you follow dudes. Dudes don't.
I follow women.
Okay, what women? Like, do you follow models? Do you follow like porno stars, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, well then clearly they haven't found you yet.
They
you have to
haven't
look
found
closer.
me. Maybe they're just marketing to you.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
clearly know, but I have not done it yet because my nipple's not worth $20 a month. I haven't. If I had the money, maybe. Anyways, also, you ever have a fact? Like I talked about the Kennywood death thing. Did I talk about that? My brother, to this day, says without any hesitation that one person dies at Kennywood every year.
Is that true?
No, it's not true. But he still, to this day, doesn't have any. He still, like, he sits. We have a thing where it's called. It's Matthew's fake fact of the day.
Yeah.
And one of them one time was, hey, you know that one person dies at Kennywood a year? And we were like, that's impossible.
How would that even happen?
Exactly.
Has anyone ever even died at Kennywood?
Well,
I'm sure
probably
maybe
someone has
yeah.
like had a heart attack at the potato patch or something. But like, I don't think.
What a way to go out.
That would eating some gravy fries. So it's just like, again, this is to Matthew. One person doesn't die a year at Kennywood. And number one, it's amazing how certain animals signify a certain trait. Like if you're sly as a fox, or you're wise as an owl.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons why people talk about being a cat or a dog person. If you are a cat, typically that means you're a little crazy. Because there's always the crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
There's never the crazy dog lady. You know, it's always like, oh, there's the old lady with the 500 cats. Because again, we all know that cats, if they were just bigger, would become cougars and eat us. They know that cats fundamentally hate us.
Yes.
Dogs love us, which is why if you have 50 dogs, as long as you take care of them, then that's a house of love.
Yeah.
If you've got 50 cats, you're crazy. That's my top 5 takes. Anyways, we're going to be right back right after this with comedian Aaron Kleiber. March 3rd, he's going to be at the Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead doing his comedy. We're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to do Fresh Eyes with 80s old school hip hop with Alex over there showing that she just loves the old school beats. It's the Mike Sasson Show live on www.riversedgepgh.com. We will be right back.
Hi, I'm Rob Spear, host of Damn Near Killed Him, an interview show where anything goes.
Once they gave it to me, you could have stuck a telephone pole up my ass.
I was about to be like kicked out of the country.
That's where they send the worst of the worst.
In a psych ward, like normal things seem so weird in there.
He was making $5,000 a month doing gay audiobooks.
Hear some stories from people who have been to the edge and back. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on riversedgepgh.com or download on iTunes.
I mean, that's like some pretty cool shit.
It is pretty cool. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, or it's Tuesday at 9 a.m. Actually, now it's more like 9:40 a.m. And we're broadcasting on www.riversedgepgh.com, or you're listening on TuneIn Radio throughout the planet Earth. And if you want to listen on your smart speaker, you have to tell them, hey, play the River's Edge station on TuneIn Radio. And guess what? You get to listen to the radio without actually have to touch anything. So that's a great thing. Or you're listening on one of the several podcast formats, Google Play, iTunes, or SoundCloud. Right next to me, very special guest, close personal friend in comedy, who is having an amazing show happen to him a week from yesterday on March 3rd at the Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead.
Yeah.
But it's the big theater in Homestead.
Yes, that's
correct.
correct.
What it is.
Where you have seen, like, Coheed and Cambria. I don't know. I have no idea
One
who was
person?
there. Where you have seen
Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, Chappelle was there. Oh yeah, duh. Chappelle was there.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia has been there. Yeah.
Big theater, big opportunity, and my friend Aaron Kleiber is going to be there March 3rd. 2 shows.
2 shows. Saturday, March 3rd.
7:30, and when's the
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Don't show up at 7:30. You'll miss Chris Clark and Sean Collier.
You wish Jason Clark and Sean Collier. That's great. Yeah, 7 and 10 p.m.
10 p.m. That's when it gets a little blue.
No. I keep saying that people keep saying, like, should we come to the 10? Is it going to be nuts? I was like, wait, you think I'm going to start smashing watermelons all of a sudden in my act?
You know what? That would be amazing if, like, between the shows, you just had, like, a complete metamorphosis of character.
This is genius. Wait, no, this is genius. I think if I nail the 7 p.m. show, because people are wait, okay, first let's go backtrack real quick. So you're like, why are you filming 2 shows? That's just how it works.
Yes.
You film 2 shows.
Yeah, he's filming a comedy special, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's filming a comedy special, and so you should go there, support him, because just from a personal standpoint, it's amazing that a comedian that is out of Pittsburgh is getting this opportunity. So please, everyone, go out there, support him. He's funny as hell, and it's going to be an amazing show.
And honestly, that's, it's hard. I can't say that myself because I'd be a douche, but it is a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was one of those things where, like, normally when, like, a comedian gets an opportunity, you feel you're like, oh, good, whatever. But when I saw this, hey, you're going the Homestead Music, I was like, fucking hey.
Well, and people can do that, and I think what's important, it's hard. I don't want to talk about myself, even though I'm in the job of feeling good on stage.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, really, it's really a cool thing that you're like, why is this a big deal? Okay, you're performing in a theater, good for you. No, I'm filming a comedy special that executive producers from here in Pittsburgh and from Los Angeles are paying for.
That's amazing.
So that's why it's like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, where's it going to go? And I'm like, I can't talk about that yet because I got to shoot it first.
Yeah.
So that's...
but you never know.
Yeah, but so going back to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., that's why we film 2 shows.
Yes.
In case I fart or whatever, I need to pause. In case, like, my drunk Aunt Karen yells out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But it would be really funny if, like, I nail it at the 7.
Yeah. And the people go, you crushed it. You
crushed it, like, oh my gosh. Then at the 10, I just come out and do Gallagher.
Yes.
Just like I come out, I'll put on a striped shirt.
Yes.
I'll look like a mime in 1980.
Yes.
And a mustache, and I'll just smash fruits.
Here's the thing.
I'll smash Pittsburgh foods.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, you'll Permani Brothers and pierogies.
I'll be smashing pierogies.
Yes.
I'll go to St. Max's Fish Fry in Homestead and grab some of those. I'll smash Nancy B's cookies.
Black
oh my god, this seems like such a waste though.
Black and gold Gallagher.
I would just eat it off of the ground.
Shovel it all up and put it in a pail, and some dude will buy it.
Yes. He'll give you a price for it.
Yeah. I give you $28 for that.
That's at least $50 for the food. I'll cut that in half.
Yeah, KFC can do it. Why can't Pittsburgh?
Yeah, put mashed
all their
potatoes
food in a bucket.
Yeah,
Right?
put mashed potatoes on it. Throw some melted cheese. Now, I guess the question would be like, okay, like you said, people out of Pittsburgh, LA, like it's just like, someone just call you up out of the blue? Does someone email you and say you will now be on the thing?
Actually, yes. You get a phone call. I mean, Animal Studios and executive producer Michael Killen, who wrote and created ABC's Downward Dog. They have won Sundance. They've been, the Oscars, and they do huge projects.
Yeah.
And they're out of Pittsburgh because they were, a company in Los Angeles, and they moved back to Pittsburgh because they wanted to be here.
Yeah.
They were like, we get enough work, and it's cheaper to have a place in Pittsburgh. Business people know that.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And they have a movie studio in Pittsburgh. People don't know that. It's, on the 11th floor down off Market Street. You know?
Well, we were talking about it earlier, like that we said that like I was at Ham Bones on Thursday, and I was talking to a guy who was like with Uber, and they're legitimately building the robots that are going to run the world in a warehouse next to a dive bar in Lawrenceville.
Yes,
like that's
no, I mean,
and the same thing with movies. They're
Pittsburgh is I heard earlier you talking about like. I travel all over the country, and people are like, oh, Pittsburgh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from that Rust Belt. I'm like, actually, shut your goddamn mouth. We have a Google headquarters, a Facebook headquarters. We might get Amazon. We also have an Uber headquarters, and we're building the driverless car. So, suck a ball.
Yeah.
You know, like, what?
Yeah, kiss my ass.
Wait, you don't make shells for tanks anymore? No, we don't. That ceased in 1951.
Yeah. Thank you, Little Rock, for giving me that opinion of you.
And then they're like, yeah, well, Steelers, boo, you suck. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I can't hear you because all these Stanley Cups are falling all over my head.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about. But again, March 3rd.
It's a big thing, yeah.
It's going to be 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. The 10 o'clock show, if it's crushed, that's why everyone always talks about, like, if, like, Springsteen's here for, like, 4 days, they're always sitting there going, you got to see the 4th show. Because I think he even does the same thing. He's like, by the 4th show, he just starts playing, like, Grand Funk Railroad tunes.
Yeah, I talked to a bunch of comedian friends that have done comedy specials and asked them for advice and stuff. And that's one of the things that come up is, like, how similar do you have to make them? Like, are you worried about that? And they're like, no, editors are good, directors are good. Don't worry about it. But everyone says that after you get to 7, it's like you're going up for a home run hit, and after that, you're already winning the game. So it's like whatever, let's do this.
Now, one thing
it's like going into the 3rd period up like 9-0.
Well, the one thing though that you do have to understand, that you have to remember, is if you're doing the 2 shows, you gotta make sure you have multiple of the same shirt.
That's 100% true. Man.
Yeah, like I know.
Because you sweat through the first one?
Yeah. I would. No, I have to. No, I really do have to have 2 outfits.
But I would have 5 because I know that I'd have.
You'd have to have 3. You'd have to have intermissions. In your comedy special.
Yeah, absolutely.
To change clothes, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have 1. I'd sweat through that before the show.
Mike, you don't belong here. You belong in a tundra.
Yes.
Your natural habitat is tundra.
Well, one of the reasons why I've always been a fan of David Letterman is because when he got his show, he sat there and goes, I want the thermometer at like 52 degrees. Yeah. It was the cold, and he'd always say it's because of the equipment. And he'd have like these like Hollywood actresses coming in here wearing next to nothing, freezing. They're just going oh my God, I can't stand this. And he's like comfortable as hell.
Now you feel bad for Drew Barrymore on his birthday, don't you?
Yeah, I bet you that's why.
I think he just wanted to see some nipples. Yeah. That's it. Maybe. That's what I would do for a show.
Well, I don't know. It hasn't come out that he's a dirty old man. So slow your roll.
Not yet.
Okay, he's a good old man.
Yeah, he had the one affair, but you know what? It was consensual. No one had. But it's adults. Yeah, that's Hollywood. Anyways,
it's fine. You'll be very excited to look forward to that. Once this is so stupid. It's not like humble bragging or what. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the first times when I started headlining comedy clubs. And then I was like, wow, it's really hot in here. They're like, do you want us to turn it down? And I'm like, yeah, what's the thermostat on? They're like, it's on 70. I'm like, yeah, put that shit on 66. Yeah, put that on Swiss on sweet. Mariel Lemieux. Put that on. That's, by the way, a perfect impression.
I know.
Mariel Lemieux getting drafted.
Or, yeah, of
Swiss on sweet. Mariel.
La prima soir. La prima soir. C'est Swiss on Swiss.
Yeah, so I was just in Tampa, and the first night or two, I was opening up for Ines Mitchell, and the next couple nights I was headlining, and I'm like, we need to turn this down. And they were like, oh, okay. It was freezing. I was like, this is great. I feel wonderful.
That'll be the review at the Improv. Like, how was Mike? Mike was very funny. He was very personable. The icicles growing from my nostrils weren't the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. But Mike Sasson's a really funny guy. Really funny. But I now have to cut off a toe because of frostbite.
That's how I'll roll with it. But
you'll have to do comedy shows and give out hand and foot warmers.
That'll be my merch.
Yeah.
I'll be the first comic who'll give out the merch before the show.
The sass warmers.
Yeah, the sass warmers.
Yeah.
Because, the Sasquatch will have back hair on the shirt and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. You should sell shirts with back hair on the back. And then MikeSasson.com. It looks like it's written in the hair.
Yeah, it's
Guys,
shaved in.
I'm an idea man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all this show is. That's all the Mike Sasson Show is just ideas.
Alex, you want a shirt? Hit me up.
Which is why
Nine
one of
ideas.
one of the ideas we had, Aaron, is as you can see, Alex, young lady, 24 years old, hasn't experienced all of the things.
I'm actually 77.
Yes.
Look great for my
Yeah, she
age.
just looks great for her age. Anyways, she hasn't experienced all that culture has given us. So what I do is I have a segment.
Like arthritis?
Yeah, absolutely. I have an idea called Fresh Eyes.
Shut up. You didn't play sports half your life. Did you?
No.
Oh,
She danced. She was a dancer.
Oh, well, that's a
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that would give you a little bit more arthritis.
Shut up. There's no collateral damage out of dancing.
Are you kidding me? Most of the dancers, you talk like you do they always have the America Undercover with the showgirls, and they're all like wrapped up in mummy and they're putting ice on. So they're all like 55 years old, but they got great legs.
Professionals. Maybe if she was doing it, into her 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing it? You're gonna do it to your 30s?
I just do club dancing now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Just like wedding dancing.
No, strictly clubs.
Strictly club.
Yes.
Did you see how she
Flashing
was dancing?
lights.
No, I don't think. Yeah. That's the.
Ooh, that's like a
That's how they go.
malfunctioning robot.
I do my dad dance at the clubs. Everyone loves it.
That's solid.
It's a real killer.
Yeah, if you do dad dances at the clubs, though, the great thing about it is they're not like, oh my god, look at her, she looks like an idiot. They're like, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she's so fun.
Such a good move, though.
Yeah.
It is a good move. Like, she's so funny. You're fun. She's
Yeah.
so fun.
She's real.
She's real. She's so fun. She don't even care.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yes.
But meanwhile, in your heart, you're like, I fucking suck at this.
No.
You gonna swear at stuff?
Yeah. Yes, you can swear at stuff.
Oh, that's right.
No, this is
Bleep.
internet. This is the internet. We could.
Oh, internet. Hot poopy Skittles in my butthole.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
You can't say that on the
yeah,
actual
you-
radio?
Wait.
Actually, I think what you just said would be okay
Yeah.
on the FM radio.
All right, guys, enough about me.
And by the way, don't eat Skittles from Aaron. But so
Ew.
what we do is we have Alex watch some videos from a previous era.
Amazing.
And she gives her fresh eyes with it with a segment we like to call Fresh Eyes.
This is great.
Play this.
The theme song for this is called Rich Girls and Horses.
There you go.
Because you can't trust them.
This is a local song to me.
It's my favorite song ever. Yeah. No, I love it. This is it. It's the Hot Guys.
Okay. All right. That was the Hot Guys with a song.
The
that hopefully-
Hot Guys.
The Hot Guys.
Oh,
The Hawk Eyes. No, the Hawk Eyes.
Oh, I thought they were the
Hawk Eyes.
Okay, I thought they were the hot guys.
No, those are
That'd
not
be a
hot
great name
guys.
for a
Hot guy.
yeah, but they were like ugly dudes, and they just called themselves the Hot Guys.
Hilarious.
That would have been a work. Anyway, so this week,
Me and you are going to start a duo called the Skinny Boys.
yeah, the abs. So we
Fitness models.
Fitness, yeah.
We're just in an improv duo called Fitness Models.
Fitness. We just get up there, we're just sweating by the
Get
first
it?
thing. Yeah,
We're hilarious.
yeah, yes, and I need a towel. But so Alex this week watched some old school hip hop.
This is exciting.
I did 3 videos that I feel really broke hip hop in the 1980s.
I won't judge you.
Okay, well, they were pop. I wouldn't say they're the best, but they broke.
Okay, all
they
right.
broke hip hop.
Okay.
First off was
Excited.
Run DMC with Aerosmith, "Walk This Way."
Yeah.
Which broke it.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah.
That really, that came later on after, hip hop blew up, but that really merged. It brought a lot, believe it or not, a lot of white kids in.
Yeah.
It did. Beastie Boys did a lot too, but
Yeah.
that really bridged the gap between like, oh wait, these aren't just factions of music, they're
Yeah.
all friends and talented.
And the thing that I love is the story behind it is for years they had performed with the beginning of Walk This Way, just they rapped over it.
Yeah.
And so they didn't even know what the name of the song was, anything like that. Rick Rubin, their producer, walks in, listens to it and says, "Oh, are you guys going to do Walk This Way?" And they're like, "No, we're just going to take the first part and just rap over it." And they went,
Right.
No. Go in another room, listen to the lyrics, do the lyrics again. I think that'd be a great job.
Yeah.
They initially listened to the lyrics. They came back and went, "This is hillbilly noise. We do not want to do
Hillbilly
this."
noise.
And they were like, "Trust me, do this." And so they went in, they did the thing. They didn't think anything of it. 2 weeks later, they walk into the studio and Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are there. But to tell you how much they knew about rock and roll, they walked in and went, "Oh my God, Rick got the Rolling Stones." because they look like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. But they said, they go, no. And at the time, Aerosmith was way down. They had not done anything.
Yeah,
and so
it brought them back.
There's a
They should have
debate.
just. I feel like they should have just kept down.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
should've just
you're not a big fan of Aerosmith?
Stayed there. No.
Okay,
I
so-
can't stand Steven Tyler's face.
I mean, some people consider them one of the most overrated rock bands of all time.
No.
What? No, they're still great.
No, they're not great. Just
I'm just
no one
saying,
should ever talk about them,
A lot
is
of
what
people
I'm
think they're
saying.
Very overrated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But she's saying they shouldn't even be rated.
No one should talk about them. They should just go off the face of the
Yeah,
earth.
she really hates
You know,
Aerosmith.
like, what boyfriend broke up with you while Don't Miss a Thing was playing?
That never happens in my life.
And you're like, no, Trevor, get off me.
There's
It's over.
There's a soccer player in Baldwin going, I was Trevor.
I actually had an instance where someone, my current boyfriend, to get me back, sang "Don't Miss a Thing" to me.
Oh.
That wasn't the thing that won me over.
That almost
It
lost
was
it
like,
for him. He didn't know
I kind of walked out of the room at that
So,
point.
You're 24, so when the movie Armageddon came out, that made that song really popular, you were like 4.
Yeah.
You know, remember that movie that came out?
No, I don't.
And you were like, no, and I hate Aerosmith. Get away from me, Billy. I'm just naming all these people you dated.
Yeah.
Remember Connor?
Billy?
Oh, Connor, that little son of a bitch.
Connor is the name of a son of a bitch.
Yes.
So what did you think of Run DMC?
I love Run DMC, so I was really excited when you actually had me, but I've never really seen most of their music videos.
Okay.
But like I love listening to them. And then I don't know if you guys watch this because this was my generation. Run's House.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't know, you know.
DMC that I would check out Rev Run.
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of my favorite shows in the whole world. And at the very end of every episode, he would like sit in the bathtub and write what he learned that day. And at the end, he would say, God is love, Rev Run. And I used to text my sister that all the time whenever we would have, like, I would give her advice. And then I'd say at the end, God is love, Rev Run.
Well,
It's beautiful.
I love that. You're the coolest. I would take you out to a steak dinner. She's pretty cool.
Yes.
I like her.
And call her
I
back.
won.
But one of the things
I
that
would introduce you to my mother.
Well, one thing I love about the video after watching it, and I hadn't seen it in 30 years, it really makes Steven Tyler for most of the video look like an asshole.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Because he, like, at the beginning of the movie, he's going in, and then he's busting through, and he doesn't like their music, and then they come on, and he just
They
has
try to make him like the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was only like 35 at the time. Because
He looks like he's
This was
76.
This is
Dude,
like,
how old was he, you think?
he was in 1985, 86. How old was he? He had to be in his mid-30s.
He looks like he's 70.
Dude,
he always looks
He's
like he's 70
now,
because
but
of his
remember,
face.
this is-
It's so horrible.
This is 32 years ago.
He looks exactly the same.
How old is Steven Tyler?
They won't tell you.
69 years
Okay,
old.
so then go back.
So 58, 68, 78, 88. The dude was almost 40.
Oh, he's in 30.
No, this was 89, right?
It was 86.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow. So he was 38 years old.
This is the important part of this.
Going back to Alex's point, in that video, he looks like a 70-year-old.
He does.
That's why everyone says he doesn't look
He
bad.
wasn't even 40.
Yeah.
In that video, he looks like
And
a
his
woman.
mouth is just so big. I think that's the thing that bothers me so much. I'm like, how does anyone have a mouth that big? Yeah.
There's something like a whooping crane DNA in his, you know what I mean, with the big jowl that scoops up tuna.
But you
could do that.
But you know what? Here's the thing
That's
about
gotta
it.
be in his DNA. Something.
Yo, yeah, he's man and
He could
Mick
collect
Jagger.
so many acorns.
Yes,
in
that was
his
what he
face.
was. Yeah, he definitely was a guy that if he wasn't in a big rock band would have never have gotten anything close to the women he got.
That's true. I'm curious. How did you like the merger of Run DMC and the worst band you hate?
Well, I mean, it kind of made Aerosmith better, you know, because they were there. And they're like the cool kids in the video, you know? They're like, we're going to destroy your shit.
They weren't like the parents.
Yeah. But I still would rather not listen to any part of that song, you know?
Yeah.
So
there's much better.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Then we had Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
In which we the song that broke them, which again is the song that they personally hated the most. It was "Fight for Your Right to Party." But they wrote it as a joke.
Yeah.
They wrote it as a response to all like the metal bands that were like doing the videos about, you know, cocaine and hookers and stuff like that. But the problem is that no one got the irony. So all the bros of the world are like, yeah, fight for your right to party. So that after the License to Ill tour,
Yeah,
they
they're kind
stopped
of making
playing.
fun of like party frat boys.
Yeah.
But they didn't get it. So like it became a party frat boy song.
It's funny. I had that conversation with somebody that's what their intention was, and I thought when they did the video, they should have made fun of like, like the rich kids in Animal House or like the Socs in Outsiders. You know what I mean? Like if they would have had like cardigans on,
yes,
and been like those dudes, like making fun of frat boys. But I mean, it helped them on tour for the next 10 years.
Well, it broke them and made them. It made License to Ill the best-selling hip hop album of the 1980s, and everybody had that album. Now, was it the first time you'd ever watched that video?
I've seen clips of that video and things, but I've never like watched it fully through. But it made me feel like that's how I feel like I look when I go into every party that I go to. That I'm just like this badass and I like kick down the door and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, let's get shit faced. But really, I don't look anything like that. I look like the nerds in the beginning of the video. That's what I look like in reality.
It was such a weird video because again, for a video that was played like almost ad nauseum during the 1988.
Yeah.
The total budget of it could have been more than $5,000.
Oh, I mean, you could see like the walls are in like a studio,
like a Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, and they're throwing pies at the end of the video.
You could see like the walls are almost about to like fall over,
like waving, especially when like groups of people come in the room. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And LL Cool J is actually one of the people in the video throwing pies at everybody because they were on the same label at the time.
And so is Rick Rubin.
Who has produced everything in the history of the world.
Oh yeah, it's probably top 3, if not the best hip hop producer of all time.
Yeah, and he also produced Metallica. That's the other thing. He's produced everything.
Yeah, and Johnny Cash.
Yeah, so
and he's
just like the best person ever.
68-year-old white dude that looks like a trucker.
Yeah,
with a huge beard and does meditation and acts like a monk.
Yeah, and best
hip hop producer of all time.
Yeah, and he started
Love it.
Yeah, and he started a record label with Russell Simmons. Yeah. Now, okay, so what did you like the videos?
I love the video. It just made like the whole song obviously makes you want to party. You know, it's kind of hard to not want to immediately get shit faced while listening to the song.
But they were being ironic, Alex.
Yeah, but it still doesn't come through. You're not like, oh yeah, let's not party to this song.
Awesome that she can attach to the Beastie Boys like that, because that's why they were so fun, especially in that song and video, because they were dudes where you're like, they're cool guys. Like, they're fun guys. They're like, I want them to be like my brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be like my best friends or my brothers. You know
when I was, then again, 1980, so I'd have been in elementary school. Yeah, you wanted to be hanging out with those guys. Oh, you wanted to be
the fourth Beastie Boy.
Yeah, you wanted to hang out with those guys because they look like, because also they were relatable. Like at the time, it was again like not Metallica, like Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue wearing like spandex and these guys are coming in wearing dirty jeans and t-shirts.
Oh yeah, if
and
you
stuff
couldn't
like that.
fall into the big hair and spandex.
Yeah. They'd be the dude's dad dancing with me at the club.
Absolutely would be.
They would have loved you.
Alex, good call. You're getting a second date. Oh my gosh, perfect.
But now the third video, which sadly is probably at the point the biggest hip hop song of all time up to that point.
Can I try to guess?
Ooh, yeah. Why did you do this?
Oh, go ahead.
Ice.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I thought you were going even farther back. Go ahead.
No, but at that moment, 14 million albums sold of that album.
Isn't that 1990?
It was 1989.
Oh, it was 89.
Up until 90. They initially did it 89 into 90.
Right.
But Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. Now, Alex, is that the first time you'd ever seen that video?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that video is...
I love that dancing, though. I wish that we still had dancing like that. I would so much rather have dancing like that in every like hip hop video that we have now, instead of like naked women just like being there for no reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like oh man, their dancing was amazing.
Okay, so overall, did you like the song?
Yeah, I mean, I love the song. It's really hard to not want to listen to Under Pressure though, while like listening.
I know, right?
It's so hard. You're like, I just kind of want it to be Under Pressure instead of this song.
There's so many times when that song was really big that so many rock fans heard that bass like, oh, cool, Under Pressure. And then all of a sudden you're like, DJ, just kick it. And you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then
every time it would come on the radio.
Yeah.
Well, especially you get a little bit older and you want Queen and David Bowie a little bit more in your life. And every time you'd hear it come on, you're like, oh man, and then you're like, throwback at noon, and you're like, shut up, play Queen.
Yeah, you might remember this from way back.
No, you never danced this in middle school. I'm like, shut up.
This video,
we've heard it enough.
There's
no reason for that song to be on throwback anything. We know the song. Go ahead.
This just reminds me of like there are so many people from my high school. You know, you always have that one person from your high school that like after high school makes some stupid hip hop video, and you're like, what are they doing with their lives?
Yes.
This Vanilla Ice would be that person from your high school.
the perfect assessment.
Well, this guy is why that guy exists.
Yeah.
Is because he created the bar so low and then exceeded everyone's expectations for success. That album, again, he had that song, and then he had a minor hit with "Play That Funky Music, White Boy."
Yeah.
He had a movie.
Yeah.
But then remember Turtles 2.
Yes.
He did
Ninja Rap.
Yeah, he did Ninja Rap.
Yeah.
That propelled him.
Yeah, it propelled him to.
I mean, that would propel anyone, honestly.
to being crazy person number 4 on reality TV shows.
But you're absolutely right. That is like, he is the first white dude with money who was like, Dad, I want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And his
And
dad
then
was
he
like, all right,
fucking
son,
did it.
whatever.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. He was
Even
probably
with the worst name, too.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like most predictable name that guy would
But
have.
he created the predictable name.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's funny because you don't, like, from before then, it was like, again, Beastie Boys were big, everything, but it's so, that was the song of like at least about 18 months.
Yeah.
Like you could not get away from that song. And he made so much money that eventually he had to give to Suge Knight. He had to give that to Suge Knight because eventually Suge Knight claimed that,
Is that
like,
true?
Yeah, he was hung outside of a window because Suge Knight, one of his cohorts, said that he helped write the song, and so a portion of Ice Ice Baby's profits went to Suge Knight.
Really?
I like that he was hung out of a window for this.
How do I not remember this? That Suge Knight was involved with Vanilla Ice.
He claims he was, and eventually got him to sign off on stuff.
I heard the window thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that involved Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
So that's how they get shit done.
That's how Suge
Hang
Knight
people
did.
out,
I
hang
guess
people
so,
out
sure.
windows.
Yeah.
That's how I get my kids to do stuff.
Clean your room.
Hang them out the window. I do not.
Yes.
I beat them like everybody else.
There you go.
I do not.
There. Yeah. There you go. Again, Alex, then your assessment of these 3 videos.
Yes, so much better than every other week that you have made me listen to music.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well,
Thank you for making me not want to just kill myself this week.
My goodness gracious.
You know what? That's,
What music haven't you? I want to give
last
you a
week
list.
it was okay. Well, again, it's musical things of the 80s.
Okay.
So last week was Madonna. She hated Madonna.
Don't like Madonna.
Hated Madonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Week before that,
You like Katy Perry?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, well, then
I'm
shut
not
your
a
mouth.
huge fan of Katy Perry's music as I am hers like a person.
That's understandable.
You know, same with Madonna. I could probably be friends with her.
It's interesting. It's just interesting that it's fine music. It's fine.
Yes, yeah.
It's fine. But it's just the impact that it makes when it
Exactly.
comes out. It's
You're
such
like,
a big
what?
deal.
yeah.
It's so fascinating.
And then
Yeah.
the week before that was Van Halen, which
boy.
yeah. So she
What'd you
did.
give her?
What did
Jump.
Yep.
What else?
Panama
Panama.
and Hot for Teacher.
She heard all 3 of those and she's like, I think I need a rape whistle.
And she was
like, I don't know if I've been violated.
Yeah,
I
she
feel
doesn't-
like I have.
yeah, she was
I feel like it's my dad's friends with long blonde hair. I know.
This week, when I was going, I was trying to play the videos that you sent me, and the Hot for Teacher came up again. I was like, you can't be fucking serious. Like, he wants me to listen to this 2 weeks in a row? Like, that's horrible.
That's what
Yeah, I feel like that those songs do not hold up.
There's
like I hear them
classic
now.
rock songs.
Yeah, but I hear them now, and then I picture the dudes that were singing them, and I'm like,
They would never
it's
happen
just
now.
Like, yeah, it's just like we're creepy dudes in a bar in Blawnox.
Yeah.
But every
And also
creepy
children
dude,
and like hot girls.
But every
So
creepy
weird.
dude in Blawnox so loves Van Halen, and that's why we love Alex and Fresh Eyes. Thank you very much, Alex.
Oh my God, you're welcome.
There you go.
was
And
fun.
moving forward, let's go to news and notes.
Oh, wait, let's do it.
News and notes from the world of sports, gossip, and entertainment. Speaking of hip hop, got to listen to the songs there. Speaking of hip hop, this past weekend, Jay-Z brought one of his guys that works with him at Rockefeller Records out for their birthday party.
Aw.
Okay.
And so he went to the club.
Yeah.
And how much do you think he spent on alcohol?
Oh, for his buddy's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, $10,000.
$80,000.
Oh, okay.
He got a really expensive bottle of rosé. That's why. A $50,000 bottle of rosé.
Wait, no. Why is that $50,000? Is that how much a bottle of rosé costs?
The rosé is expensive.
That don't
That's the
make any
fancy
sense.
people drink.
Wait, what?
That's why millennials
There you
love
go.
it.
But it says
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the and then
another an $18,000 bottle.
Yeah, and then total $80,000. Tip was $11,000.
Cool.
So total bill $91,135.
I mean, him and Bay are worth like $400 million though.
But here's my thing, and I don't. Again, that was a wonderful birthday that he probably spent. $91,000 to him means nothing, but $91,000 could send a kid to college. Don't you sit there? Isn't that somewhat of a waste in a sense of?
I agree with you.
Okay.
I 100% agree with you. Sitting here right now, making a third of $81,000.
Yeah.
I get it. And, you know, I feel like I'm that person where I want to say that.
Yeah.
But I also have never been worth $400 million.
Yeah.
So, I will say, too, that I know that Beyonce and Jay-Z have done a ton of shit.
Yes.
Like, them and Oprah have built whole villages
Yes.
and schools and shit. Do you know they do a lot of stuff that they don't even talk about? Very
What?
interesting.
That's crazy.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
They're just great people.
They built like an entire community and like schools and didn't tell anybody.
How do you know if they didn't tell anyone?
They told Aaron
Somebody
specifically.
told somebody.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those things where like they didn't make it public, they didn't have any press, but then somebody was like, "Did you know that they did this?"
Okay.
Yeah. But
But basically,
No, they went to Homestead and they told Aaron.
here's the thing: if you're worth $400 million, and at the end of the night you feel good about what you're doing with your money, I would be like, you know what? Let's get an $80,000. Let's spend $80,000.
they're feeding the economy.
Let's try it out.
You know, they kept that bar in business.
By the way-
That bar was
By
about
the
to go
way,
out.
Yeah, you're not. Someone got an $11,000 tip. By the way.
Which actually is with $80,000. That's not even 15% though.
Oh damn! I left a $40 tip the other day on a $20 check, and I felt like a baller.
Oh yeah, it feels real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels really good.
Yes.
Like it's just for you though. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? You're supposed
You
to
didn't
keep that
tell
stuff
any. Yeah,
secret.
you didn't tell anybody about it.
I didn't actually do that. That never
Keep
happened.
That stuff secret, okay? It's just for you and your heart. Okay.
But again,
That's still good.
$11,000. Yes, that's good. But of $80,000, that's not 15%.
How funny is it? The server would be like, "Motherfucker left me 12%."
I bet you there's one person who did do that.
How funny would it be? Like, look at this. Nice 20% over here. Somebody needs to get Jay-Z a calculator.
But that again, that is one thing you do have to respect. Now, okay, something else that has to do with Hollywood and all that kind of good stuff. This past week, they're doing promotion for Red Sparrow, and Jennifer Lawrence was off in London doing her Jennifer Lawrence type deal. And she was in a very nice dress.
Yeah.
But it was a typical February day in London, so it was very cold.
Yeah.
And so everyone went on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff and started railing against how is it that she's in this dress that's revealing in the cold weather, but the guys next to her are in these sweaters and these jackets and these jeans and all this kind of stuff. This is all that kind of stuff. Well, here was her response. Wow. I really don't know where to get started on this Jennifer Lawrence wearing a revealing dress in the cold controversy. This is not only utterly ridiculous, I'm extremely offended. That Versace dress was fabulous. You think I'm going to cover that gorgeous dress with a coat and a scarf? I was outside for 5 minutes. I would have stood in the snow for that dress because I love fashion, and that was my choice. This is sexist. This is ridiculous. This is not feminism. This is overreacting about everyone someone says or does, creating controversy over nothing.
Get it, girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
That dress is banging. That is a good dress.
But okay, you're as a female, if you're wearing the nice dress, you know that if it's cold, you if you're going from the car to the club, you're not putting on a giant coat.
No.
You're making sure that you look nice for the club.
Yeah, it's like people's weddings. They have weddings in the fucking like in ice castles.
I got married in the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
And did your wife have to wear a parka? No, she probably wore a dress.
No, she had a little shawl. But, you know.
Yeah, she looked good.
She didn't put on her winter jacket.
But I just love in 2018, as soon as they see the picture, everyone attacks and says, oh my God, why did they make Jennifer Lawrence do that? This is terrible. And she's like, no, I'm Jennifer Lawrence. This is what I did. Yes.
It's a non-topic. It's so dumb.
Yes.
And the fact that, like, even you read that perfectly. Like, I could feel her in that being like, are you fucking kidding me? Right? Like, that's all I'm like, you were saying the story, and I was like, huh?
Really?
Like, who somebody gets highly paid.
Yes.
To come up with that bullshit.
Yes. Who went to like Harvard or went to Cornell?
Somebody.
Yeah,
Some producer who gets paid $190,000 a year or whatever, $1 million or.
Yes.
God's sakes.
All right. Now, you're like me. You're always, we're trying to work out. We're trying to be more svelte.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were like, you're like me, hairy, always hungry, sweating most of the day.
Yes. Well,
that too.
That too, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How much you pay for those shorts?
These shorts, how much would I pay for those shorts? Well, first of all, I don't know what they do.
They just are workout shorts.
Okay, because
They make your legs look like that.
I love functionality. Okay. So it depends on what they do, what they feel like.
Okay, so
they look like they're sheer.
Yeah.
They look like they're good for jogging. I know if I'm on the elliptical, they look like they would rub well.
If they made your legs look like that, would you be like, yes, absolutely, I'll pay $1 million?
My legs look pretty good.
Yeah.
But these are the shorts features. Mid-weight four-way stretch fabric delivers both a neater, more tailored long look for full range of motion.
Long.
Big thighs, love it.
2 open hip pockets and 1 zippered side pocket for valuables.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Laser cut headphone cable port. Reinforced laser cut vents. Yeah, laser. Everything's lasers with these ones. Reinforced laser cut vents increase airflow and release heat.
That. We didn't cut them with scissors.
we cut them with lasers.
All right, here's another one. 44,000 candle power real reflective hit keeps you visible in low light situations, just in case you're just like lifting weights in the dark.
No, jog at night. Yeah, I get it.
7-inch inseam hits about 2 inches above the knee. Mid weight for floor stretch fabric. Yeah. 97% polyester, 30% spandex.
Polyester?
Sounds like an interesting mix.
So you can sell anything as long as you put lasers in it.
Because it's the
moral.
Shorts go for $80. $80.
I'm not even surprised. Do you know how much Lululemon leggings are?
Yeah.
Like $1 million, basically.
million?
No, but they're like $100.
The popular cute leggings. Like my wife's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you're going to the gym,
She's like, I'd like to get those. They're like $89. You're like, what? No. That's insane.
Exactly.
But would you have a problem with $80 shorts when you just saw them and they have laser cut? That's the whole thing. Everything's laser cut.
If I had the ability to tip $11,000,
then yes.
If you go to the Homestead Music Theater on March 3rd,
I will say, please, guys, go. We haven't mentioned this in a while. Saturday, March 3rd, the Carnegie Library of Homestead. 2 shows, 7 to 10 p.m. Please come and support. I would love to buy $80 running shorts.
Yes.
And
you'll wear them the next show?
Money's going to me. So that's what happens when somebody rolls in and pays for it.
Yeah.
They want money back. Yeah. What? That's crazy.
Yeah. So don't trash your dressing room. Don't be.
Here's the thing though. Mike and I have both been through the weight loss journey.
Yep.
I lost 100 pounds at one point.
Yeah.
That's why I say at one point while Alex looks at me like, what?
Yeah.
You lost how much? What did you weigh? 900 pounds, you fat son of a bitch.
That's the look I get when I tell people.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So, I will say though, the more you work out every day,
yes,
and you wear the cheap hoodies and the cheap shorts, you're like, you know what? I need to upgrade a little bit.
It makes you want to work out.
Well, actually, it's once you work out a lot, a $30 Under Armour hoodie is a little bit better than a $9.99 Walmart hoodie. You know what I mean? It feels a little bit better. Shorts, everything. So yeah, running shoes, socks.
Yeah.
You spend a little more money on them, they are a little bit better.
Yes.
I don't know about 80.
And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But $80 shorts? What are you, out of your goddamn mind? What are you, crazy?
Yeah. Well, you should just sponsor them so you can get them for free.
There you go.
Do some advertisements during your show. There you go.
Speaking of money, Kylie Jenner went on Twitter the other day
I need a bathroom break.
And said, so does anyone else not open Snapchat anymore, or is it just me? Ugh, this is so sad. Now you sit there and you go, what a stupid tweet, whatever. That cost the company Snapchat in total value $1.4 billion.
Was it?
In 20, because
they changed their stupid everything.
They're a publicly traded company, and 24 hours from that tweet, they lost in total value of the company $1.4 billion.
Everyone's like, if Kylie Jenner's not using it, why would I even go on Snapchat?
That's how much power that 20-year-old woman that you did not even want to listen to has in 2018. She could send a tweet, People stop using Snapchat and they lose over $1 billion in total value.
I don't know. I feel like
don't believe that.
I feel like it was more than just her, though. It had to be because it was really was horrible. Their update was horrible.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Well, that's what the people from Snapchat are saying. 24 hours after that, they're saying, I bet you it is a designer who sits there and goes, it can't be my new design.
It's not me. It's not me.
It's Kylie
No.
Jenner. Everyone hates her. Let's just say it's her.
Yeah.
I really don't. That's, I don't believe all of that. There's something else going on. Steve, you're saying there was features that were messed up.
Yes, they changed it.
Oh, okay. Then that
Now it's harder to like view everything.
Yeah, that makes
which is
more
the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, it's harder to send nudes and things. Like, why would you even
Spit take.
do anything? Yeah.
Speaking of spit takes, speaking of money, there's money all this kind of thing. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy over gun legislation, everything like that.
No.
So what a group of strippers in Tennessee wanted to make the point of is that it's actually much easier to get an AR-15 in the state of Tennessee than something that I didn't even know existed. If you want to be a stripper in Tennessee, you have to get a stripper license. And so to get a stripper license in Tennessee, you first off have to get a background check.
Good.
You have to get a medical.
God forbid we have any crazy bitches. Right?
Yeah, what are they going to find in the background of these strippers?
I don't know. Hey, you know what? Hey,
Hey, Diamond. Hey, Sapphire. Hey, Mercedes.
I just love that conversation at the strip club office. Like, hey, Big Sass. Big Sass is our manager.
Yeah.
That girl Cinnamon, she got in a fist fight at a mall last year. I don't know.
We can't have her.
I don't know if she could work at Big Tatas Incorporated.
Yeah, she's not.
Do you have to have like a college degree as well?
Yes, you might. Okay, so first off, you have to get a background check.
America is so broken.
Then you have to get a medical exam.
Oh my God.
Right.
Then you have to have a 2-week waiting period. And then
What are they waiting for their ex-husbands to find them and kill them?
They're making so that their kids can't eat. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Right?
So that's.
Is this only in Tennessee?
This is the reason why I brought it up is because a group of strippers brought this up. They made a YouTube video showing that, like, because essentially they brought up and said, hey, here, have an AR-15. All you have to need is $1,100. Oh, you want to strip for a living? Yeah, these are the steps you have to go through.
Right. Like Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, porn's bad, but machine guns, cool.
It does kind of make me want to go to these strip clubs, though.
Because these are
Just
some
to
high-quality girls that
exactly.
go through that.
Yeah, people. If I hear anybody at these strip clubs call anybody, excuse me, she has a goddamn associate's degree and no criminal
Do you
background.
know what she went through?
Have some respect.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Don't you dare touch her in the champagne.
She's gonna
room.
run for city council.
Yeah, she actually has more credentials than the people running for city council.
Jeez.
Especially in Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't bring this up. This was 3 weeks ago. The mayor of Nashville, who is a woman, actually got pinched because she was having an extramarital affair with her head of security. Yes. So that's right. Women power. There you go. So it's not men, it's not women. It's just you get in charge. You look for something to bang.
Power and money.
There you go.
It's power and money.
And that's why they have strippers that have to have, like, background checks. And then also, what are you going to find? I guess you're trying to find out if they have some sort of disease that they can't dance on a pole. I don't know. That's why you always see the strippers spraying the pole. They always, because they don't do that here in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Mike has clearly been to way more strip clubs than we have ever been to.
I have performed at strip clubs, and they have the spray. Speaking of something that maybe I shouldn't know, but now I do know, Alex, there is a new tool for women that if they want to experience orgasms and then eat immediately afterwards.
So you don't want to do that?
It's called Rub Grub, where for $20 you buy a vibrator that you program in your favorite pizza place.
Mike, you gotta get off the internet.
In which after you finish your session, you press the button and it immediately orders pizza.
But then that doesn't make sense. Then you're waiting an hour to get your pizza because you just ordered it.
So you'd order the pizza, then do your thing.
Yes.
See, it's the order. Maybe the order that they described it.
They did not do that right.
Part?
Yeah, it's a vibrator with a button on it. Like they had last year, Pizza Hut was selling sneakers with a button to where you could press it and it would order Pizza Hut. Well, they did it now. They put the button on vibrators.
Or you have your vibrator and then your phone right next to you and hit, like, whatever, the Domino's app, order pizza.
Yeah. You could tweet that. You could tweet and order pizza. So I feel like this is completely pointless.
I also feel like potheads invented this like 100 years ago.
But I like that it only costs
it took them
$20
so long to get the market. So
Yeah, I know.
It's only $20 though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it
So
Bluetooth?
I don't know.
Wait, a $20 vibrator? What is that, bargain bin?
How do you? Is this connected to your phone? How are you connecting that pizza
it's
place?
Bluetooth and a
And does that
vibrator?
pizza place know that that's where it's coming from?
these are questions that were not on the thing. They just released it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That said, hey,
These are
we'll
the
come up
things
with
that-
this invention that you can now
What
order
do you
pizza
think's
after
gonna happen?
orgasms.
Like the pizza place gets a special like
Extra smiley
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
They're like winky
There's
face
like a
after the
purple
order.
light that blinks.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, guys, hurry up. A woman just orgasmed. She needs pepperoni and sausage and mushrooms and a loving relationship now.
And then all the dudes are like, we're all going to deliver this pizza.
But that's the thing. You always have the thing in the porno thing where the guy's the pizza guy. This is a guy who shows up. He already knows the woman is,
Yeah, but
probably
she's done.
satisfied.
She's ready for her
That's
pizza.
What I'm saying. It's not, they wouldn't want to
She
go.
slams the door in his face. He's like, oh, cool. What's up? And she's like, oh, thanks so much. Thank you. I'm
Okay,
going to
bye.
go Netflix and eat pizza.
Yeah, I've already gotten done with that. Speaking of that, now you've obviously traveled for comedy, and you now go into states where marijuana is legal.
That's correct.
And in Las Vegas and Nevada, it's legal, so much so that they've actually at points run out of marijuana because it's been so popular.
Yeah.
So what they have now at the airports in Las Vegas is a giant green thing that looks like a mailbox.
Yep.
And the point being is they know if you're going to a lame state where marijuana is still illegal, it gives you a chance to sit there and say, hey, put your extra weed in here so you don't have any problems. To me, this proves again that Las Vegas, smart people, they don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But the thing is that people are wondering is,
Where does it go?
exactly.
I just think that one dude named Derek just
Who dated Alex at one
Listen
point.
to this.
just did that.
Yes.
He's just sitting in there with headphones on, and just weed falls in, and he's like, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
He probably has a tube that sends pee, and like he can just go to the bathroom. And
That's the greatest weed. That's the greatest weed thing of all time. They just like he sits there. And goes, yeah, just all I do is wait
lives
here.
in this weed hut in the Las Vegas airport. I love this guy.
This is a great idea, though.
A great idea.
If,
Well, legal
if they
weed is a
tell
great
you
idea.
if they tell you where it goes, I
Do
feel
they
like
give
then it's a
weed
good
to the
idea.
Homeless? Like, how does that work?
Oh.
That'd be great. That's what we should do. Weed to the homeless, making sure that they just, you know what? If you're gonna be homeless,
At least enjoy yourself.
at least walk around
You know what
stoned.
I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in Denver, and I don't know if I would want all of those homeless people to be high all the time.
I think
or
they
they
already
might have.
are,
Yeah,
but
they might have
They
been.
wouldn't be ornery.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a
that.
guy like chase me down the street. So
No, I would love every bum in LA I've encountered to be high.
yeah,
Yeah,
Then
because
just
then
like,
it wouldn't
what
be
up?
like it wouldn't be aggressive. It would just be like, "Hey man, do you know that JFK was killed by aliens?" Instead of him jumping on the hood of your car,
Yeah.
screaming JFK was killed by aliens, he's just doing it while laying in the grass doing snow angels.
So
Yeah,
what
that
should
might be
happen
better.
is that again, Las Vegas should distribute to the homeless people, like having the cops where they sit there if they see an aggressive homeless person,
Yeah.
they just hand them the weed and they just be like,
Yeah.
here, this is what you got to do. Again, you know what we do on the Mike Sasson Show? Problem solve.
figure shit out.
One more thing that we have is, again, if you're trying to lose weight, there's a new fitness fad called, I believe it's called flogging, where basically what you do is you jog and you pick up garbage while you're jogging because they say the picking up the garbage actually is like lunging and works your abs and your core, so it increases
You mean bending over?
the bending over and the getting of the garbage and all that other kind of
There
stuff.
are 1,000 other workouts.
No, it's jogging while picking up garbage.
Whatever you need to
The
do.
inmates from prison who this was originally their job to pick up all the garbage came up with this plan. They're like, listen to this fitness routine, and then they don't have to do their
That's
job
what
anymore.
I'm talking about. That's who comes up with stuff is dudes in jail.
Yes.
Like these are the same guys that come up with, we made a machete out of 4 toothbrushes.
Yeah.
You know, we figured out how to drill through concrete with a stick from a Lunchable.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, and this is how we pick up trash and also work out while we're on the chain gang.
They figure shit
But
out.
of course, some 22-year-old in Lawrenceville is going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the you got to make sure which neighborhood you're doing this in, because if it's in like a nice neighborhood, yeah, you might pick up some McDonald's wrapper or something like that. If you're in like an ex-industrial neighborhood, all of a sudden you're picking up like tires, you're picking up like
heroin needles,
needles and all this kind of
I
shit.
have found an old wagon. Yeah.
So you got to make sure you're doing this in a nice neighborhood, because if you're running through Braddock, you're like, oh, a car's on fire. I guess I'm supposed to pick that one up.
Where am I supposed to tuck all this rusty aluminum?
But that's the thing. Someone who is like stealing copper will just be like, no, I'm just jogging. This is what I do from now on.
I know.
So again, thank you very much, Aaron. Now we have one more segment.
I just keep thinking of all the stuff I've ever seen on the street.
Yeah.
And then some joggers like driving, jogging through this like, crappy neighborhood. It was like, I got to pick up this abandoned baby seat.
It's because it's the newest fitness fad.
So ridiculous.
Again, March 3rd, Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead. Where can they get tickets?
GrownDadBusiness.com. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, Aaron, I'm so excited for
10
your
show.
Opportunities.
It might be sillier.
Which the 10
Silly.
p.m.?
Yeah, 10 p.m.
Especially if the 7 p.m. crushes. Now you're going to crush the 7 p.m. show.
We'll see.
But let's say, for instance, the mic goes out. Someone in the audience has had
Exactly.
too much drink or something like that.
Exactly.
Then the pressure's on. Then can you add like a midnight show just quickly?
No. No. That would cost like a lot of money.
You can't just say, okay, let's go to my house. Everyone just sits in my basement. We'll just do the audio version.
We'll do a garage show. Is that what we do now?
Yeah, it's just one of those.
What do we do now?
The DIY or whatever.
Yeah. I'll film my album in a garage where there's also people who are smelting.
Okay. We're picking up stuff from jogging.
Yeah.
So our final segment, Aaron, is called Comment Your Ass Off, where we read the comments from the Facebook Live. Play the theme song.
Say hello to the villain that's been you out.
This one's really intense because of the comments we have are intense.
Okay, comment away. It's called Comment Your Ass Off. Thank you very much for listening and to watching. Go ahead.
We have just a lot of great ones. Brandon, he said
Crazy people?
no.
Okay.
Our viewers are not crazy, Aaron.
They're super
Yes.
normal.
See all the 900 cameras we have on
I've
the
been picking my nose and scratching my balls for an hour.
I know, it's been hilarious.
Okay.
But
Brandon says for your little nephew that to differentiate the middle names.
okay.
That way you can just call them by their middle
Because
names.
I have a new nephew, Matthew
That's right,
James.
congrats.
Yeah, Matthew James. And now, obviously, I have a little brother named Matthew who lives in Los Angeles as well. So I'm going to call him MJ. MJ and then Matthew, everything's different. So, but he's saying go by the middle name. So
Yeah.
call one of them Matthew William and the other one Matthew James.
Or Matty Ice.
Or Matty Ice.
Like Natty Ice. I don't know if you guys got that. Because I didn't get it at
it
first.
could be Matthew's your brother,
Yeah.
and like Maddie's the little one.
Matty Ice.
Whatever, full of your heart.
I said Matty J.
Matty Ice.
You just have to always say it like
Matty
that, though.
J.
Even when he's
Matty
a baby.
J sounds like the white kid who would be.
There you go. He's
that's-
going to be famous.
Yeah, I can't.
Matty J Ice.
Matty J. Ice.
He's the dude that hands out mixtapes at like Upper St. Clair High
Yes.
School. Matty J.
He's
He
the
lives in
best.
Los Angeles now. He might turn into that guy. I hope not. I'm just hoping, just play middle linebacker. Go ahead.
Sam says, is there a 7-second delay? Is that what happens on TV? That there's
Yeah,
a second,
if we
seven-
swear too many times.
Oh, okay.
But no, there isn't. We can say swear words all we want. It's the
We
internet.
don't- we don't bleep
compete
shit
against,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we compete against porno.
We don't bleep out nothing. Hot poopy pants.
Skittle butthole.
hole.
This kind of filthy language will not be tolerated on March 3rd.
Stupid dumb titty face.
He also asked who are the guest stars tonight, and I graciously said, Aaron Kleiber, you are a guest star. Guest star, you're a star.
You're a star.
Thanks, guys.
Gold star right there.
He also wanted to know if the show was scripted because I guess we sound like that.
This is a scripted
What a
show.
horrible script.
Yeah, I slaved over
We
this
want a
script.
Razzie.
Can you imagine if I wrote down what we've been saying for the past 45 minutes?
Well, actually, we're both trying to be funny, so.
I know, but like, could you imagine if I
So
just
thank you.
Yeah.
I want to know like the like cues of like how we move our heads and stuff like that would also be in that.
Right.
But that is a compliment that they think that there's a possibility that
Yeah, we wrote this.
This is we rehearsed this all day.
Or also he's thinking, is this scripted? Because this is hot garbage.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
That was my initial reaction.
Yeah, this is sewer trash garbage.
He wanted to know if we wear makeup for the show.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do.
Mike's a sweaty mess.
Yeah, that's.
Obviously, I wear makeup every day, not for the
I put
show.
lotion on my face 14 hours
I could
ago.
tell.
I have to. Okay, this is. You do a lot of acting. I've done a little bit. I was on a PBS show in which the point of the thing was I was the guy's boss, and then eventually I turned into a vampire.
Right.
And so they.
When did this happen?
This is like maybe like six years ago.
Okay.
So they put me in the vampire makeup, and obviously, what do you think I started doing? Sweating like a pig. And so the makeup person was getting so frustrated because I was just sweating so profusely, and then she's just like,
That had to be terrifying for those children.
A vampire.
yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so there's pictures of it somewhere. I'll bring those in one year.
That's scary.
But yeah,
I hate makeup.
So that's why
It's honestly why I take care of my face as best as I can, so that I don't have to wear a bunch of makeup when I act.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Grover
It's
Cleveland.
the worst.
Boom. Except you have the mustache when you're Grover Cleveland.
Oh, Grover Cleveland, I had full prosthetic. Oh yeah, I had prosthetic nose and eyebrow. It was like a little piece.
How long did that take to put on?
The first makeup test was like 3 hours.
Did you ask to keep it afterwards?
No, it's all ripped apart. You like rip it off.
What do you do for 3 hours when they're doing all that kind of stuff?
You talk.
Okay.
Look on your phone.
You can
listen to music.
Wish we could have done this. We could have just.
No, yeah. But no, and then it got shorter and shorter as like we shoot for like a week, and then it was down to like 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Other comments?
Yeah, he asked how are the ratings for the show?
Through the roof.
Yeah, always.
Pound and Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
We passed them up.
Yep.
Last comment is from Jason Clark, and he said, "Who's this Aaron Kleiber fella?"
You son of a bitch! You no good son of a bitch! Nobody from Crafton or Carnegie, wherever
Either one,
you
they're
are.
shit.
Let me tell you something. Jason Clark is this.
That Kramer right there.
Let me tell you something. Jason Clark has been following me on social media, saying some bullshit, talking about he's the co-host of my comedy show, Stand Up Get Down. He said he's on my podcast every week, Grown Dad Business. Not true.
By the way, Stand Up Get Down.
He's a goddamn liar.
Goddamn liar. I don't think would we even allow him to be in the
theater? He says he has a wife and kids. He lives alone under a donut shop. Called Bob's Donuts.
Yeah.
That's where Jason Clark lives.
Yeah. Keeps annoying some nice ladies and just, calling him his wife. That's just a nice lady who works for them.
He works at Arcade Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
Does not.
Yeah. Nope. They would never let
Does
him
he even exist?
They would even never let it in.
It's actually he's actually my
He's a robot?
Yeah, it's a bot.
What if someone all of a sudden was like, Jason Clark is not real, Aaron?
What's like a Sixth Sense thing?
Like, what?
It's just a Sixth Sense thing where she's sitting there going, Jason Clark passed away in 1994.
I was on the Bubba show this week, and we were talking about ride or dies. And Jason Clark is my ride or die.
Yeah.
He's my homie. Do you know what the ride or die? Have we talked about this last time I was on?
No.
The ride or die friend, you got to have a ride or die friend.
Right.
Where what they would do is, if you could call anybody at 3 a.m. and say, look, I need you to pick me up. I need you to take me to the airport, buy me a plane ticket, and drive away. No questions. That's your ride or die.
Mine is
What do you
Anthony.
talk about on the way to the airport, though?
Nothing.
Just sit in silence.
Just sit there and be like, here's a bag, dispose of it, and go from there.
All right.
But mine's Anthony, the guy who works at Bocelli's Pizza in Sharpsburg. He is like this with me. I have known him since 1997 when it was Pizza Outlet. And so,
That's really funny.
Yeah, so that's my ride or die.
That hard for real.
Alex,
That was for real.
yeah, Alex.
Who's your ride or die?
Probably my sister.
Yeah?
That's easiest, yeah.
Do you think she'd show up?
Oh, hell yeah, she'd show up. She better show up. I show up for her.
Would Abby say you're hers?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Absolutely.
would Jason say you're his?
Maybe.
I don't know.
He was like, I don't know. He doesn't make much money. I don't know.
He might rat me out for like a hoagie.
Yeah, I know.
March 3rd, Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead.
Music Hall.
Go do it.
I'll do it in my radio voice. Saturday, March 3rd at the Carnegie Library Music Hall of Homestead. It's Aaron Kleiber. There you go.
That's good.
Boom.
It's
Win.
a good ad. Cut
Thank you.
that.
Run it again.
There you go. Thank you very much for everyone. Let's keep listening to the best music, the best local talk on www.riversedgepgh.com. It's the Mike Sasson Show. Thank you again very much to Aaron Kleiber. Thank you again to the greatest producer in the history of internet radio and lover of old school 80s hip hop. It's Alex Clemens over there. My name's Mike Sasson. Support local comedy. Go to his show. See you later. Bye.